11 Sports and For the Fans welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
The New Orleans Pharaohs have moved south and under new ownership, don a new name and a new attitude in Houma, Louisiana. Home to only about 33,000, but representing all of the state today with some faces the London Knights are very familiar with. It's the home opener at the newly named Stack Up Stadium between the London Knights and the Louisiana Revolution. With Gerald Smith on stats and Rich Pratchett on analysis, I am play-by-play commentator Cameron Irvine. Rich, how you doing? And what's on tap today?
And Cam, doing great. Great to be back here in southern Louisiana. Love it down here. Looking forward to check out the new version of this franchise. Louisiana came out in week one, made a statement that they are for real and are expecting to be successful right away. London, on the other hand, let one slip away against Tulsa and is looking to prove that they're not a team to be overlooked. London, unlike last season, has a bunch of guys returning. They were able to add some rookie talent on both sides of the ball and brought in two key vets in Hunter Norwood and Robert Merrill. Louisiana looks much like London did last season, only 3 returning players from the Pharaohs of season 14, but that doesn't look to be a problem for these guys. Both teams had similar numbers offensively last week, moving the ball effectively on the ground, and both quarterbacks threw 3 interceptions. Defensively, however, the Revolution had a great day, forcing 7 interceptions, while London only forced 2. So the question from where I'm sitting, Cam, is can Angus McLean, who was plagued with the interception bug last season, take care of the football and avoid throwing multiple interceptions to a defense that seemed to sniff out the ball every time they turned around?
We will find that out and so much more as we're down on the field at Stack Up Stadium. Louisiana and London. Louisiana 7-point favorites today with an over-under of 51.5. And for the London Knights, it's time to kick it. We're underway. Louisiana on the return from the goal line, and that's up to the 23-yard line, returned from number 84, Mike Twinscrew, the rookie, picked 23rd overall. So now it's Johnny Pickler's time in another new home for Pickler here in Houma.
So Pickler, in his second season, his rookie campaign, he threw the least number of interceptions in the league and had the second highest QBR. So let's see if he can repeat that here in season 15.
3 receivers for Pickler out of the shotgun, and London starts in a nickel look. Pickler back to throw. He'll fire it over the middle. That pass is complete, and a pickup of 7 to the 30. And on the first play of the game, Chase Earl is hurt for the Revolution. We had a kind of a tough week in week one for injuries. Saw a lot of guys shaking off some rust, and that is not a good start for the Revolution.
Not at all. Chase Earl handling that wide receiver spot and doing a good job of coming across the middle and finding an open spot. But, man, we'll see if he gets to come back this game or if he's out.
Pickler's going to be down a weapon. Saren Storm, number 12, and Mike Twinscrew, number 84, will have to fill in for Earl's absence. Earl played his rookie season in St. Louis last year with Pickler, but we'll check on his status as soon as we have something for you. 2nd down and 3 at the 30 for Pickler with 2 in the backfield. Hand off to Reggie Streeter. Streeter has a first down and more to the 35-yard line. A 5-yard gain. Streeter is the lead man in the backfield. Cody Scott's at tight end for this offense. Leonard Butler Sr. and Rudy Ray Dunn, some talented guards on the offensive front.
Yeah, and I think those talented guards are going to open up some holes for Reggie Streeter today. He comes in last season, had a great season for the Pharaohs.
Pickler sacked, a 5-yard loss at the 29-yard line, and getting in the backfield very quickly is Zach Turner, who had an excellent debut in week 1, a loss of 5.
Yeah, Zach Turner, 5 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack last week against Tulsa, and starts off strong here today.
So now 2nd and long, and Pickler's going to go empty again. Earl out of the game, so a 4 wide receiver set with just 2 guys to really keep an eye on out there. Pickler will throw an out route quickly. The bottom of the screen, Saren Storm against his former team gets 9 of the 15 yards needed, and will set up a 3rd down and 6 combo tackle for London by Tanner Hendricks. And number 23 out of the slot, Jeremy McDonald.
Saren Storm showed to be a dangerous weapon last year, and bringing that to Louisiana and starting off strong here with a big game.
3rd down and 6 at the 38-yard line. And again, empty with 4 wide here. Short side left for Pickler. Different route combination or route tree here, and Pickler into double coverage, incomplete, looking for Saren Storm. So the sack from Turner ends up really killing a drive for Louisiana, and after the Earl injury and that Turner sack, the Revolution will have to punt.
Still not a bad pass from Pickler to Saren Storm. He got it over the defense and got it into Saren Storm's area where he should have been able to pull that in, but just couldn't do it.
Saw Tank Bennett there on special teams demon for Louisiana in his 5th season. One of 5 different defenders on this Revolution defense with 5 seasons of experience in the Simulation Football League. London's defense, who gave up just 24 points last week to Tulsa, off to a strong start from the 23-yard line on the return up to the 29. Their return man, Dustin Zeck, another rookie, picked 36th from the rookie draft in the 2nd round, pick 14 overall from San Jose. Gets London some decent field position. Here comes Angus McLean.
So Angus McLean comes out, had a little bit of a challenge last season. Like I said in the open, he had a little bit of the interception bug, but last week, still throwing a couple, but not too bad.
3 in the backfield, including Robert Merrill, the halfback. And they will throw to him. Waited a little bit too long to get the pass out, and they're actually going to rule it incomplete. And Chase Earl with back spasms is not expected to return to this ball game, so that is a huge loss for Louisiana.
Yeah, again, Chase Earl, one of those 3-star wide receivers for the Revolution. They're going to have to now count on Saren Storm and Mike Twinscrew to carry the load.
2nd down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Fox Highwind in the slot at the top of your screen there. He caught a touchdown on his birthday last week, and the handoff goes to Merrill, and Merrill gets absolutely plastered into the ground. Huge tackle up in the trenches there for Louisiana. Number 96, Blake Craze at linebacker, formerly of Chicago.
Blake Craze had 6 tackles last week, starting off strong here in season 15. Robert Merrill, though, boy, he got hit hard.
3rd down and 9 at the 30. Split backs now for McLean, trying to avoid a 3-and-out. McLean going long, and it's over the top of the defense, and it's caught. Nobody in front of him. Vin Kalia for a touchdown, London.
Vin Kalia, last week, 3 receptions, 93 yards. He likes the big play. He can get behind the defense. Angus McLean finds him, and London strikes first.
On 3rd down, just over the outstretched arms of Nathan Blake, and the London Knights quiet the crowd here early with a touchdown pass of 70 yards to Vin Kalia.
So 1 catch, and he's already at 70 yards on the day. Like I said, last week went for 93. Angus McLean looking to make some big plays.
You can hear a pin drop.
Yeah. It got a little quiet.
Wow, that was totally unexpected there, as London able to get the score. Got 17 points last week on the road. They're playing Road Warriors here early in the season, and they'll have their home opener next week. So 7-0, the Knights get the first points of the game, and the underdogs of this one take an early lead. The Revolution probably a little bit of nerves here to open up in front of their new hometown fans.
Yeah, big game here in their hometown. Brand new stadium, working here for the Revolution, trying to change the identity a little bit of this franchise.
So the kick is away, and Mike Twinscrew still back to return, despite being kind of moved up into a wide receiver 2 situation on the depth chart with the injury to Chase Earl. So 1st down at the 21-yard line, and the profile for the Louisiana Revolution, they did take over for the New Orleans Pharaohs franchise. They're named for the United Homa Nations fight for state and federal assistance, respect, recognition, all sorts of things in the stadium. The first to be named after a charity, a military charity. That's Stack Up, and Reggie Streeter stacking up the offensive yards all the way to the London 42-yard line for a 1st down. Devin Say prevented the touchdown, but a nice bounce back there for Louisiana.
Nice run by Reggie Streeter. Gets to the outside. Good blocking by that line that we talked about earlier. Leonard Butler Sr. and Rudy Ray Dunn leading that line and gets downfield. He came in last week and ran for 134 yards. So Reggie Streeter starting off strong in season 15.
A 37-yard run for Reggie Streeter in London just like that, Louisiana just like that into London territory. 7:56 to go in the first quarter. 3 in the backfield, 1 receiver to the top of the screen. Handoff on a stretch play goes Streeter. Streeter behind some blockers, drags a couple defenders and picks up 2. Tackle made by Telemac Scarborough and company.
That was all Streeter. He got hit in the backfield by both of those guys and drug them about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Good run by Reggie Streeter.
There's a look on the outside at Joe Duncan, one of a couple of veterans on this defensive front. They'll run Streeter to the opposite side. Streeter's got some room. Streeter has a first down. Scarborough again cleans up the mess of the rest of his defensive teammates, and the Revolution have another first down again in their all green today.
Again, a great job by that offensive line opening up a hole, and Reggie Streeter finds it and scoots upfield for a first down. He's going to have to take those guys out for dinner after the game.
This is one of the best uniform matchups we've seen so far this season, Rich. I think the all green versus the all white, and then you've got the, kind of the double green for Louisiana, the blue trim, and then the gold and maroon on the other side for London. It's
I like
out
these.
there.
These are great.
3 receivers, 2 to the top of the screen, short side right. Pickler, 3-step drop, steps out of the pocket, checks it down to Streeter. Streeter's got some room past the 30. Streeter is smashed at the 27-yard line, a 5-yard gain, but Tanner Hendricks steals the show, formerly of the Arizona Scorpions, stops them for half of what they need.
Tanner Hendricks comes flying in and takes Reggie Streeter's head off. Tanner Hendricks only got 1 tackle last week, so he's looking to up that number, I think, this week, and maybe with some attitude.
2 backs and 2 receivers, and about 8 in the box there for London. Just 1 single high safety. Streeter takes the handoff, and this time the stacked box works in London's favor. That tackle made in the trenches by Samuel Cassidy, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 4 for Louisiana. They did not convert their first 3rd down attempt.
So 3rd down and 4. Reggie Streeter with 55 yards so far on the ground, 11 yards per carry.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
55 yards for Streeter. Pickler out of the empty. 4 wide, this time 3 at the top of the screen. Pickler running slants over the middle. Caught, first down to the 17-yard line. Louisiana in the red zone for the first time. There's only 1 letter separating the 2 abbreviations. Rich, and Scott has a first down at the 17.
So the tight end, Cody Scott, gets down there underneath and gets position, turns his back to the defender, and much like a basketball player in the key, blocks him out and makes that catch.
3 in the backfield, and again, 8 in the box with a single high safety. They are prepared for Streeter up front today, or trying to be as prepared as possible. Nice job getting in the backfield, and actually Streeter out for arrest. Nathan Smith gets the handoff and picks up 4. London blew that play up in the backfield, but a stellar block on the outside.
Yeah, Leonard Butler Sr. with that block did a great job of turning that defender outside and letting Reggie Streeter cut it up inside and make that yardage.
I formation now, twin screw top of the screen, and Saren Storm at the bottom. Remember, Earl is out, so twin screw there, getting some more playing time, and they're going to twin screw in the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown! Way to step up, young rookie, and Louisiana's an extra point away from tying the game.
Mike Twin Screw stood on that back line, that back end zone line, and just planted his feet, fell out, but caught the ball with his feet on the ground. Great catch by Mike Twin Screw, and that, Cam, is his first career touchdown in the SFL.
Congratulations, Mike, and what a throw from Johnny Pickler on the money. A tremendous pitch and catch there from Louisiana, and that was one stellar drive, a 8-play, 78-yard drive, and we've had back-to-back scoring drives since the sack and injury on Louisiana's first offensive possession. The extra point off a low snap is up and good despite the rush, and we are all knotted up at 7 apiece. And when we come back to Stack Up Stadium, we will see the London offense. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Stack Up Stadium in Houma, Louisiana. We're tied at 7, and what a start to this ball game we've had. Both teams excelling on the offensive side of the ball, and both quarterbacks pretty even so far, and that's what we saw last week. Rich, almost identical numbers out of these two quarterbacks week 1 respectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost identical. Great comparison between these guys, and they've been very similar tonight. Now, McLean's only thrown the ball twice, but that pass, that 70-yard pass to Kalia was crazy.
Both have a touchdown. Both only have one incompletion so far. 4:53 to go in the first. First and 10 of the 29, handoff to Streeter. He is only able to pick up one, and that gives us an opportunity to meet some of this Louisiana Revolution defense. A stacked line, Ross Napoli and JoJo Salizzi are the ends. Defensive tackle Luther Gond and Deontay Wilder in the inside gaps. At linebacker, Chuck Diesel, Blake Craze, inside and outside respectively, in a deep secondary with Evan Arthur, Rolliman Hood, Nathan Blake, Jeff Melanishin, and Tank Bennett. Second down and 9 at the 30. McLean out of the shotgun, goes middle and squeezed it through for a 16-yard pickup. That pass caught by Kalia. 86 yards on 2 catches, and of course had the earlier touchdown.
Man, Angus McLean, I tell you what, he has done some work in the offseason because he threaded the needle right there between 2 Revolution defenders, put the ball right on the money, got the first down.
First down at the 46-yard line. And with 2 in the backfield, London will hand the ball off to Merrill, and Merrill stopped for a 1-yard loss. Luther Gond with the wrap-up.
Yeah, Luther Gond, I think that is his first tackle, actually official tackle on the season. So Gond ready to get rolling here in season 15.
Second and 11 at the 45. 3:33 to go in the first quarter. McLean faced with another second and long here. That running game still struggling as it was last week, as McLean throws it over the middle, caught. First down to the 41-yard line, a pickup of 14 yards. That's Fox Highwind with his first catch. McLean now 3 of 4. He looks sharp.
Fox Highwind with a touchdown last week. Looking good so far this season. Did a great job of splitting the zones and finding that open spot. And then again, McLean delivering a great pass.
Tied at 7. Louisiana 7-point favorites here. The handoff to the fullback, Iggy Swift, doesn't get much, and that'll bring up second down and 10. Download CrowdPlay, our new partner for 2020, and play the game about the game. Follow the action and answer questions for a chance to win a share of the $1,000 prize pool, and your next chance to win that $1,000 prize pool is next. Fort Worth and Queen City at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, right here on 11 Sports and For the Fans. So get that app downloaded before the games begin. Robert Merrill on the carry, picks up 2 to the 39-yard line, but Louisiana's front 7 stout, and even the defensive backfield getting involved. Blake on the tackle.
Yeah, great job by Louisiana. They're doing a good job of containing Robert Merrill. Merrill moves over from wide receiver this season to take over the running back duties for London. And again, Louisiana doing a good job.
So a third down and long. The last third down was a bomb, and that one is caught by Highwind, but it's short. So this is kind of no man's land, Rich. 4th and 3 is Kalia with another catch, but 4th and 3 on the 35, about a 51-yard field goal, but it's only 3 yards to the sticks. What do you think?
I don't know. At 51 yards, I may have tried to go for it. Looks like they're gonna punt it away, but I don't know. I may have tried it.
Phil Hunter on to punt it away, and London figuring it's a long game, and we're not playing too shabby right now.
That's true.
Moving the football, so don't take any chances to swing momentum. This is a good punt, too. Inside the 10 and down to the 5-yard line. Tremendous punt for London. We'll return to Stack Up Stadium after this. Tie ball game at 7. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Back here in Louisiana, where the Revolution and the Knights are all squared at 7. Nathan Blake and Jeff Malinishin and a lot of these Louisiana Revolution players used to play for London, including Reggie Streeter. Streeter past the 20-25 up to the 28-yard line, a 23-yard pickup. Streeter tearing up his old team as he has done once before. 82 yards in the first quarter for a first down.
Reggie Streeter having a big game already just in the first quarter and up to 85 yards on the ground. I don't even want to do the math and see what that pace is.
That would be about 14 yards a clip at the 28-yard line. The Revolution's offense starting to hum after losing Chase Earl and kind of getting those nerves out. Playing better at home. 4-3 look for London's defense. Pickler back to throw. Pickler in between about 5 different Knights. Mike Twinscrew again for the first down to the 41-yard line.
I'm impressed by these two quarterbacks, Cam. They're doing a good job of fitting the ball in where it needs to be, putting it on the hands of the wide receiver in between defenders. And just a great route, great throw.
That was brilliant because the linebacker there, that was Cassidy, got turned around. He got caught looking at the guy running the out and missed Twinscrew coming inside, and Twinscrew just runs right past him. First and 10 at the 41-yard line. 3 receivers and a nickel look for London. Streeter in the backfield. Handoff, Streeter running right, and Streeter is blown up in the backfield for a loss of 2. Zach Turner there again off that right side at 6'7", 300 pounds, 3 inches taller than any other D lineman outside of Eric Surrett.
Big play by the defensive front, doing a good job of containing Streeter at that point. He's having a good day, but so is that defensive front.
Final play of the first quarter. Pickler back to pass. Second down and 12. Deep ball. Pickler caught. It's Saren Storm against his former team. And the end of the quarter ends in a Revolution touchdown.
Saren Storm. I've seen him run this same route last season 3 or 4 times. Touchdowns every time. He has the speed. He knows how to run the route. Gets behind the safety, and he's gone. No one's catching Saren Storm.
And what a bounce back for the Louisiana Revolution, down 7-0 here at home. You could hear a pin drop in this stadium, but the Revolution quick to pounce. Johnny Pickler now 7 of 8 for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And that extra point is good. And we end the first quarter with Louisiana 14, London 7. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. That was just one quarter of action. There's 3 more left here in this one. We'll be back in a moment. Start of the second quarter here from Louisiana. Alongside Rich Pratchard, I'm Cameron Irvine. Gerald Smith is our statistician today, and we thank him for all of his stellar work from the first quarter. Both quarterbacks over 100 yards in that first quarter, as the Knights will return from the 5. Zach on the return. Nice spin move to get away. Gets up to the 27-yard line. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League, and replica jerseys are out now. Get your name on the back of your team's or your fan favorite team's jersey, and visit team stores and libraries of purchase options through sector6apparel.com or through our website at simulationfl.net. Just hit the shop button. So London's got to shake this off, down a touchdown after they had a 7-0 lead there for a few minutes to open this game up. McLean, 3-step drop, hit from behind, spun around, and goes down. Ross Napoli, the 5th overall pick in the SFL draft, with the sack.
Ross Napoli gets his first Simulation Football League sack. And they did a good job. He did a great job working on that left tackle and got around the backside, was able to beat him and come in from behind McLean.
Highwind at the top of the screen, and look at how much space he has. A full 10 yards, and he's the only one out there, and he'll get a quick out route, and Highwind picks up about 7 or 8, and that's just great coaching, Rich.
Yeah, you called it, Cam. He had 10 yards cushion from that cornerback and just cut the out route real quick. That's an easy pickup.
For those that are new to the SFL, the game plans submitted in advance based on scouting and based on film of your opponent and seeing what they like to do and what they don't like to do, and then now you're watching the simulation of those game plans play out in real time. That pass is caught by Highwind, but he's 1 yard shy of the first down, and that's the difference, Rich, between being on the far side of the field and running that route and being on the short side of the field and running that route. He ran out of room, and now they have to punt again.
That's right, and it's kind of predictable when they run that route on the short side. You either come up short of what you're trying to get to, or you run out of room and you just run out of bounds, can't get it turned up.
So London comes up 1 yard short. They had a 4th down and 3 on the Louisiana 35, and they said, well, you know what? Things aren't going too bad. We'll punt the football, and since then, things have not been going too well as Twin Screw returns it up to the 28-yard line with 9:35 to go in the first half.
So London's defense now needs to step up, cannot let these wide receivers behind you, because you know Johnny Pickler is going to throw the ball deep if he gets a chance. So they're going to have to play smart football, keep the wide receivers in front of you, and play them tight.
He's going to Pickler you apart,
Yes,
Rich.
he will. He will Pickler you apart.
7 of 8 to start today's ball game. 3 in the backfield, handoff. Streeter on a stretch. Streeter spins away, breaks a tackle. Streeter drags 2 defenders. Oh, he's electric, folks. First down to the 38-yard line.
Streeter running strong and throws the spin move in there to make that first man miss. And after he does that, he's got room to go.
Scarborough looked like a semi that had no brakes. He was out of there. First down at the 38, and another tremendous run from Streeter. Now 86 yards on 8 carries. 9:08 to go in the first half. 3 receivers, 2 to the short side right, and Streeter breaks a tackle, but a nice job by London. Hanging on for dear life there was Brandon Ewing at the end of that play, but they really bottled him up as best they could for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, again, Streeter makes the first man miss in the backfield, but Ewing comes up from that cornerback spot to hang on, and like you said, just hangs on for dear life. It gets drug until he can bring him down.
Second down and 7 at the 42. The handoff goes to Streeter again, and Streeter will pick up 3. 95 yards on 11 carries. And the schedule still to come this weekend on TVs, Queen City and Fort Worth, the crowd play game, 1K prize pool. Don't forget to download that app before the game starts. That's next at 11 on 11 and FTF. And then a triple header tomorrow afternoon. Florida at Jacksonville, the I-95 rivalry. Charleston and Baltimore. Somebody's going 0-2 there, shockingly enough. And then the championship rematch rounds us out. Atlanta and Sioux Falls at 4:30 as Pickler throws an out route to the far side. But a brilliant tackle made. How in the world did Devin Say prevent Storm from making the first down? One of the best open field tackles I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, great closure by Devin Say to make his way up there and keep Louisiana from gaining the first down.
They have 3 on the field in the backfield for the Revolution with 15 on the clock. Last time they ran this, wow, they didn't even try to draw him off sides. That's a shocking kind of early timeout there from Pickler. He must not have liked anything that he saw out there and wanted to halt things before somebody flinched or moved or made a bad decision.
Yeah, you'll see that sometimes. The quarterback will get up there, but you're right. There was no hard count. There was no nothing.
So Louisiana burns the timeout, and they will punt the football away. So 7:37 to go in the first half. It's been high flying as expected, Rich. It's been a wild game.
Yeah, these two quarterbacks again. I mean, you look at their stats so far in the game. McLean with 115 yards, Pickler with 119. McLean 6 for 7, Pickler's 8 for 9. They're just mirroring each other so far this season.
Zach on the return to the 15-yard line. And this has been a wild series, Rich. The first time these teams met, New Orleans denied London the playoffs with a game-winning field goal. The second time they met, Reggie Streeter broke the single-game rushing record. He had 425 in one game. And then last season's meeting, the teams combined to score 48 first-half points, and London ended up winning the game. It's just been crazy every time these teams get together. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. With 2 in the backfield, handoff to Robert Merrill. He's got to get going with a lead block. He does manage to pick up 5 to the 19-yard line. Diesel on the tackle. And back to that history of just craziness.
Yeah. You've got some teams, whether they're good or bad, whatever season it is, they're going to play each other tight. They're going to play each other tough. And these two teams have been an example of that kind of a rivalry.
2nd and 5 at the 19-yard line. Again, 2 in the backfield for London. They hand it off the fullback, Iggy Swift. And Swift, with a change of pace, gets a first down to the 25-yard line. Swift now has 4 carries. Merrill has 3, and London keeping it balanced and moving the chains.
Swift last week only got 4 carries for 9 yards total, and this week he is already getting close to that total with that 5-yard run right there.
7 yards on 4 carries for Swift, so they're getting him more involved and trying to shift the defense to keep them on their toes as they try to get Merrill going. Merrill 6 yards for just 3 on 3 carries so far today. 1st and 10 of the 25. Again, the handoff to Swift, and Swift up the middle, picks up 5, and some pushing and shoving there late in the play. These two teams do not like each other. Earlier in the week, there was a lot of chirping going on in the public chats of Discord, and both these teams want this victory badly.
Yeah, able just to give the ball to Iggy Swift, and he just runs downhill and hits people. He gets his yards. 2nd and 5, McLean flips it out to Merrill all alone. 35, Merrill first down to the 37, but not much more thanks to the tremendous closing speed of Rolliman Hood. He's been with this franchise from its inception way back in season 11. Yeah, Rolliman Hood, he is a mainstay here with this Louisiana franchise, and before, obviously, New Orleans comes in, makes good closing speed, and brings down the ball carrier, able to contain that yardage just a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 37. 3 receivers, 2 to the top of the screen. McLean in the gun. Nickel look for Louisiana's defense. McLean to pass. Throws it into traffic. It's picked off. First interception of the game belongs to the linebacker, Chuck Diesel. Stepping back in coverage and falling down, making the play.
Chuck Diesel's first interception on the season comes at a bad time for London. They were driving, trying to get back in the end zone, tie this up.
Man, that was a great drive, or it was starting to become a great drive for London. And it just does not pan out. Instead, Pickler gets stellar field position, and he throws it complete. Oh, man, Johnny Pickler. Somebody go fan him off. He's on fire.
Pickler had pressure coming. The defensive line for London was getting some penetration, but Pickler releases the ball right on time, and how did that not get knocked down, Cam?
Hopper Xavier right past the outstretched arms of Jeff Gagne, who was a first-round pick in the rookie draft as well, 21st. First down at the 33. That was an incredible throw from Pickler. He's now 9 of 10. Pickler to pass, check down. Streeter with some room, spins away from one. And then once again, Ewing cleans it up. Ewing and Say, it's stellar in the open field at corner and free safety, respectfully, 2nd and 6.
There's an example of running that swing play like that from the far hash mark. Gave Streeter plenty of room to make the catch, turn upfield, and get a couple yards. Didn't make much on it, but enough to get positive yardage.
2nd down and 6 at the London 29. Handoff, Streeter on a trap. Streeter is still going and manages to get about 1.5 yards. Great job by London up front, but Streeter staying extremely patient in the backfield after Duncan brings him down.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way in the world you can tell who brought him down because there was a pile of London jerseys there, and Streeter just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. Kept the feet chopping.
3rd and 4 at the 28, down now to 4 minutes to go in the first half. It seems like an eternity ago that London had the lead in this game. Pickler to pass middle, caught by Scotty, jumped up to get it, and gets the first down at the 22-yard line. Pickler now 11 for 12.
Pickler is able to deliver the ball on time to the receiver, even though London is only rushing 3. They're only rushing 3 on the front line. They're dropping everybody back into coverage, and he's still able to get that ball complete.
Maybe back a little too far. Again, this single high safety look for London. It's been fairly effective against the run. The handoff to Streeter up the middle, and Streeter only able to get 3. You see, he's breaking that first tackle, but London's throwing 2nd, 3rd, 4th guys at him, just trying to keep him contained.
London that time called the right defense. They had the right guys up front. They were showing pressure. They were bringing that run, that run rush, and was able to contain him again. But Streeter, again, you're right. He makes that first guy miss and gets that positive yardage.
2nd and 7 to the 19. Cody Scott, watch him, the tight end on the left of the line there, as Pickler drops to throw, steps up in the pocket, nearly sacked, turns around and finds a receiver. That's number 11, Amidi Chafunkta. 1st and goal at the 7.
Chafunkta almost got in the end zone. If he could have turned it up a little quicker, I think he would have got there.
1st and goal for Louisiana, and London would love nothing more than to come out of this with only giving up a field goal, maybe even getting a turnover here, because this drive has sucked a lot of time off the first half, and that's actually okay for London, considering they have not had a great second quarter. Streeter right up the middle. What a block for the touchdown! That block supplied by Brock Tarragon. Look at this. Fullback up the middle. Bam!
That is how you earn your money. Brock Tarragon comes up from the fullback spot and just lays out the defender that's going to make the tackle. Streeter had all kinds of room, highway-size room to run into the end zone.
Streeter has 106 yards on 13 carries with a touchdown. Also has 2 receptions for 9 yards. And Louisiana has scored 21 unanswered points in this football game. The extra point is on its way, and it is good. And the Revolution have a 14-point lead. The who you got from the community, how lopsided is
wow.
that? 83.1% believed Louisiana would win their home opener. London, the heavy underdogs here this afternoon.
Well, that kind of shows in the line there from Jack's data, too.
Yeah,
the -7.
-7. A couple double-digit spreads this week with Portland and St. Louis on the wrong end of those, and we'll see how accurate Jack's data. They were very accurate in week 1. It was impressive. Zek on the return. He is smacked at the 26-yard line. So London's got a lot of work to do here. With 2:37 to go, they really need some sort of positive drive here heading into the locker room.
Yeah, I'd like to see London try and get the rushing attack going with Robert Merrill, just because it'll open up things a little bit better for Angus McLean in the passing game. He's got some weapons out there in the passing game, but if Merrill can't get going, that's not going to work.
Nickel defense for Louisiana, 2 in the backfield for London. Hand off to Merrill. Merrill up the gut. He is smacked by Diesel, who's having himself a ball game. 5 tackles and a pick in the first half for Chuck Diesel.
Chuck Diesel, a great leader on that defense at the middle linebacker spot. Had 6 tackles last week, knocked down 2 passes, does a little bit of everything back there in the middle linebacker spot.
Again, 2 in the backfield here for London. They've tried to keep things tight, but Louisiana kind of winning the battle in the trenches as McLean has to dump it off to Merrill. Again, the pass was late. It was almost like he was looking for a different route, and then he saw the pressure bearing down on him and just had to dump it off. Another 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, I think his coverage downfield just had his wide receivers locked up, checked it down to Merrill, but checked it down too late, didn't have any room to work once he did get the ball, and forces them into a 3rd and long.
And the clock will run, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. All Louisiana ever since London quieted the crowd. They've been loud ever since. 14-point lead. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Two minutes to go. It's a critical 3rd down and 11 for London, down 14 on the road. McLean deep drop back is going to be sacked, and it's Ross Napoli with his 2nd, and it sets up a 4th down, and Louisiana should have tremendous field position to try to get another one before the half.
I told you last week Napoli didn't have a single sack. He's going to come out here this week, try and make up for that, and he's doing it so far. His 2nd sack of the day forces London to punt, and Louisiana's kind of having their way at this point in the 2nd quarter.
Punting from his own 2-yard line. Phil Hunter's been a little busy the last few drives. The last drive ended in an interception, and Louisiana went 50 yards and scored a touchdown. Louisiana with only those 2 timeouts coming after the punt, but did not choose to stop the clock. And so London bled about 35 seconds off at Twin Screw. Tackle to the 46. How about Johnny Pickler, 12 of 13, without Chase Earl on the field, which was his only weapon that came over from St. Louis on this offense outside of tight end Cody Scott.
Yeah, both of these quarterbacks actually not having a bad day. Take away that interception by McLean, but Pickler particularly 157 yards, 156.6 QBR at this point. That's
basically perfect. Just outside 158.3. Pickler going long down the sideline. It's knocked away and almost intercepted.
Yeah.
That a dangerous deflection there, and Louisiana probably catches a break. Twin Screw was the intended receiver who has the had the first touchdown of this half.
Yeah, good coverage there by the defensive back. Just got his hand in there, knocked it down, and you're right. That tipped ball had a chance of being picked off.
So 1:07 left. You see YouTube at the top of the screen /SimulationFL. We got a couple games tonight, including Carolina and Las Vegas, live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SimulationFL. 2nd down and 10 at the 46. 2 in the backfield. Pickler quickly, sidearm throw. Cody Scott, I'm sure you were watching that route develop, Rich. That was pretty nifty.
Yeah, that was great. It's Scott, and they're going into the hurry up, but Scott ran a great route.
1st and 10 at the 39. Pickler to throw again. Pickler in trouble. And as he threw, it's ruled an incomplete pass. His arm was going forward. Scarborough almost caused a fumble there, and it sets up 2nd down and 10. We saw a lot of that vicious front 7 last week.
Yeah, Telemac Scarborough with a great rush. Just got back there quick, was able to hit Pickler before he threw the ball, which was good for London because I think that would have been a complete pass too.
51 seconds left, and Pickler's got more incompletions on this drive than he did the entire first half. 10 on the play clock. 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers, all here to the bottom of your picture. And Streeter goes the opposite direction. Streeter, 35-30, 25-20. Reggie Streeter down the sideline picks up 34 yards as they fooled everybody and sent him out into the flat where there was nobody home.
Well, I tell you what, I'm impressed with the play calling here for Louisiana. on this particular play, London's got all their guys back. They're playing a deeper zone, and they just swing it out to Streeter, let him do his work. They've run that slant with Cody up into the inside when there was man coverage and they were playing the rush. It's just been a great play calling on this series.
So now 5 yards away with 43 seconds to go. Plenty of time for Louisiana with the one timeout left in their pocket. Bunched box here on both sides. Streeter, stretch play left. Streeter breaks a tackle. And when London's gone to that 4-4, they've really actually done a nice job. It's been kind of when Louisiana spreads them out.
Yes.
It's been the problem for the Knights in the first half. They're going to hand it off to Streeter again. Streeter fighting to the one. I wonder if they have another play here, but they may be able to get him in on the end zone regardless because he keeps fighting forward. 20 seconds. Third time is the charm for Reggie Streeter. Touchdown again.
3 times in a row you run that play. But, I've always said, if it's working, keep doing it. Make them stop it. And they just couldn't do it. Reggie Streeter gets into the end zone. Only took a couple yards each time, but that's all they needed.
When you look at the numbers for London in the first half, McLean is 8 for 10, 119 yards. They've got 20 yards on 9 carries, which is not great, but it's not like they haven't had any sort of running game to speak of. Kalia's got that long touchdown pass. Gagne's got 5 tackles. Scarborough, 5 tackles. I mean, guys are playing well, and you look at the score and you go, what the heck happened?
Yeah, Louisiana's just showing up and doing what they need to do and exploiting the few little mistakes that London is making. And there aren't that many of them, to be honest with you. They're playing a pretty good game.
18 seconds left. Louisiana didn't even use their timeout. They didn't even need it. That is just remarkable. That was all Streeter, every play on that drive.
Yeah.
Kick is away. Kicker Matt Fennick picked 80th overall. And out of the 5th round during the rookie draft, Zek on the return of the 27-yard line burns about 6 seconds. So unless McLean can take the top off the defense again, we've got a 21-point game going into the locker room. And it's just so surprising given that London started so hot.
Yeah, and McLean can do that. He can take the top off of the defense. He's got the weapons to do it with Highwind and Kalia and Zek out there on the outside. But not set up looking that way.
12 seconds, handoff to Merrill. Merrill's got some blockers. Merrill's got some speed. Past midfield, and they'll call a quick timeout to get a Hail Mary out there. I don't think even if they would have called it right away, they would have only had time for one more play, but it does get them in position.
Robert Merrill's best run of the day, but I think Louisiana was obviously looking for the long pass. You just give it to Merrill, let him get to the outside, get some yardage, get yourself in a position for the Hail Mary, and see what you can get done. We saw it work last week.
They'll take Merrill they'll take Merrill plus Hail Mary attempt any day. I don't think Louisiana has any problem with that. So McLean, who's been sacked twice by Ross Napoli in the first half, so watch there at the top of the defensive front. McLean going to try to flip it to the end zone with 4 wide going long. And McLean steps up the pocket and right into another sack. That is Luther Gond making the play, and it's been Louisiana, not London's front 4 that have been dangerous in the first half as we head to the locker room. What a half for Louisiana in their home opener.
And Louisiana throwing the ball all over the place. You look at the stat sheet, they've got 4 star receivers, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. All of them have at least 1 catch. Cody Scott, Saren Storm with 3 catches, Mike Twinscrew with 2. Pickler's spreading the ball around, making sure he gets everybody involved, and that's showing success. Angus McLean really doing a good job, except for that 1 interception. He's thrown the ball very well. He's 8 for 10, 119 yards. Big throw to Kalia to get that first score. And now Robert Merrill finally on that last play gets himself going, and they're going to still have to do that. On the defensive side, Jeff Gagne having a great game with 5 tackles, but then you've got everybody else getting involved. Most everybody on that defense has a tackle for London. Same thing over on the flip side for Louisiana. Chuck Diesel with 4 tackles, and an interception, having a great game.
And the good news for London is they will get the ball back to start the second half. Remember, Louisiana had that very quick drive after Chase Earl got hurt and Turner got the sack. So London gets a chance to sort of reset things. They scored on the first drive of the first half. Maybe they can score on the second drive, or the first drive of the second half, rather, and right the ship. If they do, it's just a 2-score game with plenty of time to go and everybody can calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, in the open, I talked about the key being, Angus McLean taking care of the football and not throwing interceptions. While he's only thrown one, now for the second half, we're going to flip that around, and London's defense is going to have to step up. London's defense is going to have to make some stops and not let Louisiana in the end zone. Angus McLean has shown he can be efficient. He can move the ball. They should be able to get the football in the end zone if their defense can step up.
Pickler with 3 picks last week against St. Louis, none here in the first half. Probably shows just how good that Gladiator defense is.
Yeah.
Very underrated. We'll see how they do against Matt Wilson and the Mexico City Aztecs on Monday night as we get back out to Stack Up Stadium. First stadium in league history named for a charity, military charity. It's a wonderful thing that they're doing. They the CEO watching with us today and was on a podcast of ours, Access Live, before the season started, and just a phenomenal job they're doing over there for the military.
Yeah, they're doing a great job for the military, doing a good job here supporting this Louisiana franchise, and the Louisiana franchise doing a good job of supporting Stack Up too. It's impressive to see that partnership.
As we start the second half, London will get the football. Zek is back to return, and a bit of a short kick to the 10. Zek past the 25, and there just has not been a lot of space for the Knights. So with Merrill getting that run late in the first half, 31 yards on 5 carries, what would you like to see out of this Knight offense as we start the third quarter?
I'm going to go right back to Robert Merrill. They have got to get him going, whether it's up the middle, between the tackles, to the outside. It's gonna take getting Robert Merrill some success, but they're starting empty.
First and 10 of the 28, they do start empty, and just testing that revolution front, and that pass is too late getting out there. That is Evan Arthur with the deflection. And how about this, Rich? Evan Arthur, in the last 6 regular season games, has 9 interceptions and 4 interception returns for touchdowns, most in the SFL.
He is just having a crazy run. Crazy run. Last week, 3 interceptions last week with a pick 6. Just, Evan Arthur is dangerous.
And that's the first time we've even called his name today,
Yes.
because they've been throwing away from him. Second and 10 at the 28, flip out, nearly knocked down by a lineman, and Merrill picks up a couple. That tackle made by Craze. So quickly, third down for London, and going 3 and out here would be painful.
That would be painful. I'm not going to say devastating yet, but it would be painful, and it's going to hurt their momentum and hurt their psyche a little bit.
3 receivers, 2 in the backfield. Nickel look for the defense. McLean, great pocket, and the pass is dropped down the field. It was Iggy Swift, the fullback, and unless somebody got a hand on that, I think he just whiffed as he was all sorts of turned around. Let's get another look at it.
Yeah, Iggy Swift gets open right up the
little behind
seam.
him.
And yes, you're right. It was a little behind him, but you've got to catch that, and I think it did get tipped, actually, Cam. It looks to me like Tank Bennett may have got his hands on it. But, wow, that was a first down.
Man, that's tough for London. That is really tough. Now they're going to have to punt the football away and play some defense. And there is a unit, Rich, that really needs to step up for London. And that is, as Twin Screw returns it up to the 35-yard line, that is the defensive front 7 of the Knights. We'll spotlight them here in just a minute.
Yeah, that defensive front, when you'll see it here in just a minute, but they are dangerous, and if they step up and do their job, they could shut this Louisiana team down for the rest of this game, but they have to do it.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Streeter goes into the flat. Pickler steps in the pocket. Pass is caught. There's a flag on the play, but it's down the field, so likely PI there, and they'll just decline it.
Yeah, likely pass interference or holding downfield, but, man, another great throw from Pickler.
They will decline the penalty and give Pickler the yards, so Pickler now 15 of 18. And we were talking about that front seven. They were dominant in the second half against Tulsa. You watch this play. Look at the work. Look at the work ethic to get to Nickens. That was Eric Surrett on the line. But they do more than just sack the quarterback. Here, it looks like Robinson has a huge lane, but then it's closed down by Zach Turner. This unapologetically just swallows up Nickens' hole. But even without sacks or TFLs, they watch them collapse the pocket here on Nickens, and it forces an errant throw. That was late in the game when they needed something to happen, and London can just bother an opponent, but they really have not bothered Johnny Pickler here today.
Yeah, they do have that capability, like I said, and you were talking about Eric Surrett. He had 2 sacks last week. Zach Turner had a sack. William Davidson had a sack, and Joe Duncan all had a sack last week. That entire front 4 had sacks. You had Gagne in the backfield, Scarborough in the backfield. We just haven't seen it yet today.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. This is a dime 3-2 look for London, and they have been eaten alive when Louisiana spreads them out. Pickler down the middle, caught again. 1st down. That is Chafunkte with his 2nd catch of the day. Moves it up to the 37-yard line.
So Pickler finds his man again in the open between a bunch of white shirts. These Revolution receivers are able to find these little spots in that London defense and just sit and wait for Pickler to deliver the ball.
6 in the box now for London. 3 receivers for Pickler. Streeter in the backfield. This has been all Pickler on this drive, and it's caught again. It's unbelievable. They just run in circles around this night defense to the 21-yard line. Pickler up to 247, and Twin Screw's got another one.
Mike Twin Screw, 41 yards so far on the day. 3 receptions. He has a touchdown, and he just runs great routes, gets open, and Pickler just tosses in the ball.
Gerald Smith on stats, Rich Pratchard on analysis. I'm play-by-play commentator Cameron Irvine. It has been all Revolution since the Knights got the opening touchdown, and Scarborough, who's been the headline of this Knight defense, gets another tackle for a 1-yard gain for Streeter.
Yeah, Telemex Scarborough, 7 tackles, I believe, on the day so far. Just kind of being disruptive, but he's got to have the rest of that front 7 to help him out.
2nd down and 9 in the red zone again at the London 20. The Revolution have been perfect in red zone trips. They've scored a touchdown every time. Outside to Storm. Makes the catch to set up a 3rd down and 5. That may be worth a challenge. Tough to tell.
Yeah, that was close. If you look at the London defensive front, they only rushed 3 that time. But even when they're rushing 4 and rushing 5, they're not getting any more penetration than that, Cam.
No, and Leonard Butler Sr. and Rudy Ray Dunn on that line, picked in the 6th and 7th round, respectively, late in the draft. They have been huge acquisitions for this squad, and they are holding the pocket well for Johnny Pickler. 3rd down and 5. Pickler to pass against a 4-man rush outside. Caught. 1st down, Twin Screw. 1st and goal again. And Louisiana just keeps moving the chains. 44 plays on offense for the Revolution to 30 for London.
Man, what a route. Mike Twin Screw runs down the sideline, puts the speed on, and then just stops and cuts to the outside. Pickler knows it's coming, throws the ball before Twin Screw even makes the break, and it's there.
Stack box. They shift over to Streeter, and Streeter is clobbered. And give credit where credit's due for the London Knights. They really prepared well for the stacked box here today, and it just hasn't worked for Louisiana.
Yeah, Streeter's yardage is coming on the outside. It's not coming up the middle. Scarborough's doing a good job, and the rest of them doing a good job of closing up that space between the tackles.
Out of the eye again, London stacks the box here. 2nd and goal at the 10. Will they throw out of this? Mix it up? Nope, they'll run to Streeter right up the middle. Streeter is buried. That's the front 7 that we were expecting to show up here today. Streeter down to 5.4 yards a carry with 108 yards, and Zach Turner cleans it up again. He's having a nice afternoon.
Absolutely. Zach Turner, last week, he had 3 tackles for loss and a sack. so far today. He's got 2 tackles and a sack.
This is the danger zone for London. Pickler on third down and long off his back foot. Oh, what a pick! 20, 25, 30. Back the other way is Devin Say. Say with a man trying to catch him. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Devin Say. Say what?
Devin Say, huge interception for London. Picks that ball off, just jumps the route, knows it's coming, and then just speed, Cam. Speed does it. Devin Say gets into the end zone with his first pick 6 of the season, first interception of the season for Devin Say.
What a game changer, and that's the second amazing play we have seen Devin Say make. He stopped the first down conversion, or would have been a first down conversion. Stopped him on third down out there in the flats, and a brilliant play by Devin Say has London back in the game, and once again, the Revolution crowd is silenced. That's only the second time we've heard him this quiet all day. The extra point is good, and we have a game. 6:51 to go in the third. London 14, Louisiana 28. We're back with more Simulation Football League action after this. You're watching the SFL and 11 Sports, and for the fans. Now that we've caught our breath, 6:51 to go in the third quarter. A pick 6 from Devin Say just turned this whole game on its head. Revolution still have a 14-point lead, though, from the 1-yard line. This is Winscrew on the return, and he only gets up to the 22-yard line. Nice coverage there for London's defense. Woo! What a play, Rich.
I know it. Great play. Devin Say, man, he's changed the momentum here maybe and given London's defense a spark. And let's see if that continues on to this series, because they're going to have to continue. They're going to have to continue to make plays.
Stack box, London employing this a little bit more here as the game goes along. And the handoff goes to Streeter up the middle. Streeter is stuffed. No gain on the play. Momentum is starting to shift as that's another tackle for Samuel Cassidy, playing a really nice game at that weak outside linebacker position.
Yeah, and London's going to have to stack that box a little bit. They're going to have to get some pressure and trust their secondary to make plays downfield, especially when if Louisiana's going to stay in this run offense.
Again, that 3-back set, Louisiana just trying to cram it down the Knights' throats. That's probably why. You know Streeter is good for a broken tackle or two just about every play. He makes 6 yards look easy and sets up a third and manageable.
Yeah, that's one of his best runs up the middle so far today. That was a good run by Streeter, but good blocking up front, too, by the offensive line that we keep talking about. These guys are doing a great job today.
Third down, 4 to go. This time, London goes 4-3. Streeter spins away from 2. Just putting guys on the ground, and number 34 gets to the 34-yard line for a first down.
Reggie Streeter, he was caught. He was stopped before the line to gain, but he puts that spin move on, and upfield he goes, gets that first down, and somebody's picking their shoes up off the ground here somewhere.
23 runs, 23 passes for Louisiana's offense so far in this one. 1st and 10 at the 34. Pickler going to throw. Pickler going long down the sideline. He had Streeter. He got greedy. Wanted to hit Storm on a corner, and Tanner Hendricks knocks it away.
Tanner Hendricks having a pretty good game back there, doing a good job knocking that ball down. He had an interception last week, And this week that's his second pass defense so far with 2 tackles as well. Tanner Hendricks doing what they have to do.
Second down off the incomplete pass. Pickler's just his 5th of the day, but his 2nd in a row, going back to that interception. Back to pass on 2nd down and 10. Pickler steps up in the pocket with a man at his feet. Oh, it should have been caught in twin screw, maybe a little bit behind him. Could not haul it in. Looked like it went right through his hands, Rich, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, again, behind him. He got a little bit in front of the route, and Pickler trying to throw that timing route through it behind him. Couldn't turn around and haul it in. But Louisiana's defensive secondary doing a good job with coverage. There was good coverage on him downfield.
3rd down and 10 at the 34. 4 wide here for Pickler. He's been carving up London, but has had a rough few last passes. Ball down the field. It's incomplete. Dropped on the outside by Hooper Xavier, who had a catch earlier. And that, Rich, is now 4 straight incompletions for Johnny Pickler, and Louisiana will have to punt, amazingly enough.
Good coverage downfield for the Knights, and good pressure up front by that front 7 or front 4 for London.
Just the 4th punt of the game for Walter Melanishin is this from Zach, return from the 29 to the 32-yard line, and now London Knights offense returns to the field for the first time in a long time, it seems. We haven't seen
it's
them
been
in
a while.
Forever. Only 30 plays on offense in this game, but we'll see more of them when we come back. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. .5:02 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the London Knights are making things interesting, but this is a critical drive if they want to keep their momentum up. Cameron Irvine, Rich Pratchett, Gerald Smith here with you. 1st and 10 at the 32. They hand off to the fullback, Swift, for the first time in this half, and he picks up 1. Diesel and Hood combined for the stop, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, going to try and ride Ickey Swift to get some pressure from the run game, but I think we're going to have to see something from Robert Merrill and Angus McLean throwing the football. Ickey Swift isn't going to take this game over.
Napoli's got a couple of sacks. 2nd down and 9. McLean deep drop back, great pocket. McLean still looking for somebody to get open. He's going to run. McLean caught from behind and picks up 6. Nice effort on the back end of that play by JoJo Shalizzi to prevent the first down. And McLean, not the most fleet of foot, but still able to pick up 6 yards.
That one was all about the Revolution secondary, holding down back there, covering those receivers. Nowhere to go for Angus McLean, but he didn't throw an interception. He kept the ball, kept it safe.
3rd and 3, everybody tied up. 4:05 to go in the 3rd. Needing a first down, handoff Merrill, got a kick out, blocking, got a first down. That's Ickey Swift moving the chains to the 43-yard line. Stellar fullback play.
That is the very first time that London has picked up a 3rd down today, with exception of that touchdown pass to Kalia. That's their first 3rd down pickup.
Yeah, great point, Rich. That had kind of been that monkey off their back that they may have needed. 1st and 10 to the 43, empty for McLean. McLean goes short over the middle, pass caught on the timing route. That is Kalia with a pickup of 9 yards. Download CrowdPlay, our new partner for 2020, and play the game about the game. Follow the action and answer questions for a chance to win a share of the $1,000 prize pool. That is coming up next, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, Fort Worth and Queen City. You will not want to miss that opportunity Download from the Android or iOS marketplaces. Merrill on a screen, got the first down. It, in a roundabout way, got it done, and the Knights continue to move the chains.
Just get him involved, and that's what they're doing, whether it's running the ball, throwing the ball, however you got to do it. Get Robert Merrill involved. Make them put somebody on Robert Merrill so that can open up some more space back in the secondary downfield.
Nickel look for Louisiana's defense. McLean is 11 of 15 for a $132 off after that screen pass. McLean, deep drop back again, tremendous pocket, dangerous throw, he dropped it. That was a touchdown. Rick Hard, the strong safety, has too hard of hands apparently.
That is why he is a strong safety and not a wide receiver. Ball lands right in his hands.
Oh.
That couldn't have been gift wrapped any better for him to pick that one off and run it back.
Oh, hit him right in the face. I mean, honestly. And that was McLean. That throw was even worse than the interception.
Yes.
I mean, the interception was not a terrible throw. He did throw it into traffic, but that was right to the defender, and Louisiana is going to be kicking themselves if they allow London to get back in this because of that. Out of the shotgun. I can't believe he dropped that. Out of the shotgun. 2nd and 10 for McLean. Good pocket. Deep ball caught. First down of the 29.
Good throw by McLean. Gets it up over the defense. Puts it where his receiver can catch it. And when you're throwing the ball downfield, Dayton Rhodes, the tight end, comes up with a big catch. He only had 1 reception last week. And this week, much longer gain.
A 7th round pick. You know, they got 3 receivers, 2 tight ends, a fullback. They just have not been able to get as many people involved. Zek does not have a catch. Matson does not have a catch. And Swift does not have a catch out of the backfield either. 1st and 10 at the 29. Handoff to Swift, and Swift is met immediately. Chuck Diesel has had his number, and actually, I stand corrected. That is a handoff to Ray King Ball as this drive is drawn on here in the 3rd quarter. That's the 9th play of the drive.
Yeah, the halfback Ray King Ball, the backup to Robert Merrill gets involved, and now we're back to empty.
1:38 to go in the 3rd. London on one of their better drives of the day, down 2 scores. McLean had to throw it early. It's caught over the defender who actually, it looked like he almost fell down, Rich. That was, well, let's get a look at Rhodes here again while we check the replay.
Yeah, Dayton Rhodes runs a great route. And you're right, though.
It was Bennett.
Yeah, Tank Bennett back there had a chance to make a play but fell down.
It's like he stumbled or thought the ball was coming short. It almost looked like it got deflected, actually, and Bennett may have thought it was coming to him. Swift is hit in the backfield, a 2-yard loss. And a combo tackle there. Diesel again, along with Luther gone.
Yeah, Iggy Swift trying to get up the middle. And, I'm kind of wondering whether London's just trying to throw Louisiana off by running that fullback up the middle a little bit, giving them something to watch for, and not expecting a lot of production there.
I definitely like how they have mixed it up. Swift 7 carries, Merrill 6, and 18 passes from McLean. Out to Merrill, it's covered, and Merrill is hit hard in the backfield. Evan Arthur making another tremendous play to set up a 3rd down and 15. The quarter is almost over, Rich, and this will be the 13th play of the drive.
Great job by Evan Arthur. Knew that was coming, just kind of played his spot. Once the ball was delivered, closing speed, and keeps Merrill in the backfield for a big loss.
Stack Up Stadium getting loud. 3rd down and 15. McLean in trouble. Steps up, going to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. What a throw and catch. And it's Fox Highwind with his 2nd of his career.
Angus McLean, did you see that? Steps up in the pocket, finds a spot to settle, waits for Fox Highwind to get free, and then delivers a great pass to the backside of the end zone.
Bennett again was out of position. You saw he had his back to the football, and I think that's what McLean saw. He said, hey, if you're not going to look at me, I'm going to throw it through a keyhole. And McLean's got a couple of touchdowns and a $177 on the day. Highwind and Kalia have receptions, and London has scored 14 in a row, and it's a 1-score game. Unbelievable.
London got their defense rolling, and here we go. Got back to within 7 with this kick. And, it's a game again, Cam.
It is a game again indeed, and, of course, the community was probably feeling pretty good about their selection when it was 28-7, about to be 35-7, but that pick six from Devin Say changed the fabric of this game. And McLean, in the moment they needed, can you imagine, Rich, a 14-play drive that ends in a field goal when they're down 2 scores? It would have been so deflating.
It would have, yes.
That was the biggest play of the game. Twin screw from the goal line and gets up to the 23. And as Louisiana tries to protect this lead, Streeter has been bottled up, only 5.6 yards a carry now. He was up to about 14 in the first half.
Yeah, he was.
They don't have Chase Earl, so they're shorthanded.
Man,
tough.
I keep going back to these stats, Cam. We talked about it before the game. Angus McLean and Johnny Pickler, how they're mirroring.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 114 QBR, both of them.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy. Mirror images of each other so far this season as Streeter gets the carry, picks up 4, and that ends a wild third quarter. If you thought the first 3 were good, what's going to happen in the fourth? Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans, and we'll be right back. Start of the fourth quarter from Stack Up Stadium in Louisiana, Houma, Louisiana, home of the Louisiana Revolution. Not an expansion team, but a relocated team after the team was sold to new ownership from New Orleans. There's a flag on the play, and look at London. They got 8 players in the backfield by the end of it. Let's check the flag. And it's coming back.
Yeah.
That's on Leonard Butler Sr. And that.
Well, shoot, when you're sending as many defenders as London is sending, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 16. That might not be the worst thing in the world for Louisiana, honestly. We'll see what they do here. Pickler's been able to just zip some passes down the field all day today. That is in traffic. Whoa, I thought we were going to get a PI there, blanketing Cody Scott. I don't know about that no call, Rich. That looked like a mess.
It did, but I was actually watching the front line. London got penetration that time. Pickler threw the ball just before he was about to get hit. Good pressure by this London front again, and that's what they're having to do. It's what we talked about at halftime.
Pickler has not completed a pass in his last 4 attempts. 3rd and 16 at the 17. Pickler going long. It is knocked away. That's wow. 5 incompletions in a row. Pass intended for Storm. 3 and out for Louisiana. What is happening, Rich?
Oh, wow. That was just secondary. That was all secondary. The 3-man front for London kind of shifted to the left, ran a stunt to the left, got no pressure at all on Pickler. He just came up short on that pass, and it got knocked down.
This is incredible. I mean, Pickler he owned them. He owned this defense. He was as perfect as you can be.
Absolutely.
I think he had a perfect QBR.
Yeah, he did.
And something clicked in London. You know, London is a young team. They've got 7 rookies on this squad. They've got about a handful of second-year players. It's a very young squad. Sometimes young teams just need a little something to hold on to. And that's what's happened here. Ball on the 45-yard line for the London Knights. They were down 28-7 here on the road. Two in the backfield, handoff, Swift. Swift up the middle, gets 4 yards, and I thought for sure that Napoli was going to be able to come off that block, but excellent job up front for the Knights.
Iggy Swift gets some good yardage there on first down thanks to the offensive front blocking well, opening up a hole, and letting him get upfield.
114 QBR for Angus McLean. He looked pretty good last week, and he looks pretty good here today on the road. Second down for McLean. Pump fake, stands strong in the pocket. It's caught! Oh, man, no way! Pass is caught by Dayton Rhodes, and these are great passes, Rich, but his receivers are not letting him down either.
No, absolutely not. Dayton Rhodes, the second tight end on this team, had one catch last week. He has come out here in this second half and just done a great job. That is his third reception, for 46 yards so far on the day. Great job by this young tight end.
Rhodes now has the second most yards of any skill player in this game. Swift gets 2, I should say, for London. Kalia's got 100. And then Saren Storm on the other end, 77 yards on 4 catches. 2nd and 8 after the Diesel tackle.
Yeah, again, Iggy Swift, just kind of workman-like performance here for Iggy Swift. Getting his yardage, putting pressure on that front of Louisiana defense.
But they're bleeding the clock.
Yes.
They've taken Louisiana's offense completely out of the game, like the Revolution did in the first half, but Craze hit Swift there. More pushing and shoving after the play with Napoli and a tackle up front. 3rd and 8. This is trouble for London. Only those 2 third-down conversions, and that one a few drives ago was just a 3rd and short. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 35. Fringe of field goal range. We saw him punt at this place earlier. Split backs. McLean going long down the sideline. It is. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, Kalia had it. It was just a little bit overthrown. Oh, he almost made a diving grab at the goal line. And now it's 4th down. Oh, heartbreaker.
Oh, Kalia stretched out, laid out for that. Had it in his hands, just couldn't contain it when he hit the ground, and it forces a punt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and they'll punt again. They don't want to give Pickler good field position.
No.
They're playing too well right now. They have all the momentum. But the last time they made this decision, Louisiana scored a touchdown on the next drive. But this punt's going to roll inside the 5. And did he stop it? He did at the 4-yard line. That's the second time London has pinned Louisiana inside their 5. And what a stellar play at the end of it. We have to take a commercial break, and we'll be back to Stack Up Stadium in a moment, where the Revolution are going to finally try to put this away. Louisiana pinned at their own 4-yard line. They go 3 backs here. 4-3 look at a London's defense. Handoff goes to Streeter. Streeter cuts back inside. Nice play by from Turner again from the backside. And Merrill is averaging more yards a carry than Streeter, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, Streeter, it was good he got that yardage, because this is London's bread and butter here. This kind of a play, this kind of a setup.
3-back set again. Louisiana is trying to hammer this into London to try to win this game, and Streeter is bunched up again. A gain of 1, maybe 2. That is Eric Surrett on the stop, and it's 3rd and 5 once more.
Yeah, I just think Louisiana's going to have to spread it out. They're going to have to put the ball in the air if they're going to be successful, even here in short yardage, and that's what they're going to do.
Since Louisiana scored, they have 11 yards on 14 plays. The last 14 plays. Pickler to throw on 3rd and 5. Pickler almost sacked. Oh, it's caught! What a play! A pirouette from Shafonte, and it's a first down at the 21-yard line. How did that happen?
Devin Say was thinking pick 6 again. Tried to jump that route, but missed the ball. Just missed the ball.
That was his. It would have been a tie game. Oh, just misjudged it. Now Louisiana can kill some more clock. Some of the plays we've seen today, just unbelievable. Handoff Streeter. Streeter looks a little gassed. Picks up 2. That's his 26th carry. And, shout out to London. They really, at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, they really have done a nice job on Streeter and made Pickler beat him.
They have. Streeter's got over 100 yards, but he has had to fight for those 100 yards, and some of them were on some big runs to the outside. He has not been real successful up the middle.
And they've snuck him out into the flats a couple of times, and that's killed him, but yeah, for the most part, they've contained him. 6:10 to go. Oh, they jump offside. Streeter is stopped in the backfield, and that wasn't even the man that jumped offside. A killer penalty for London right here in the clutch moments.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, Rich, just like last week, it was a tie game with Tulsa, and right in the clutch moment, they let Gabriel Manning get free, and that was all she wrote. And now here London is. They just need one more stop, and they just can't seem to get it. Davidson jumps offside.
And that's about an 8-yard turnaround now, because that was about a 3-yard loss on that run if they would have actually not jumped offsides. Now they get the 5-yard penalty, so big penalty.
2nd down and 3 at the 27. 5:45 to go in the 4th quarter. Hand off to Streeter, and Streeter gets hit in the backfield, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Good tackle right there by Telemac Scarborough. Catches Streeter in his spin, brings him down for a loss.
Coming up next, Queen City and Fort Worth. It's the crowd play game, 1K on the docket. And a triple header on Sunday. Don't miss that. Starts with Florida and Jacksonville at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on 11 Sports and For the Fans. 3rd down and 5. They're going to run it to Streeter. He is tired, dog tired, and they make the tackle in the backfield. That again is Samuel Cassidy, and Louisiana will have to punt the football.
Samuel Cassidy fighting for a spot here. He has had a great game, made a lot of tackles, but you're right. Reggie Streeter is just gassed. He just doesn't have any bounce in his step at all at this point.
Louisiana will have to punt the football away. London came after it and almost got the block. From the 36-yard line, nowhere to go for Zek. And we'll have to take a short break. The Knights are in it to tie it.
Yeah.
Let's say 4:38 to go. Knights need a touchdown. You're watching the SFL on 11 Sports and For the Fans. 4:38 to go in the fourth quarter. London has the football, down 7, 28-21. What an amazing game we've had. Gerald Smith, Rich Pratchard, and Cameron Irvine with you. McLean dumps it off to Merrill, and Merrill can't pick up anything. And if you're new to the Simulation Football League, you're watching the first controllerless esport where strategy and AI, instead of thumbs, determines outcome. Teams submit game plans prior to the simulation, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players, scouts, coaches, and team owners on the field to create an all-new kind of virtual reality. Visit simulationfl.net for more information, as that pass is caught over the middle for a 7-yard pickup. A critical 3rd and 3 coming up as Dustin Zeck gets his first catch of the day.
Zeck does a good job of coming underneath and just gaining some yardage, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to go downfield. These swing passes out to the outside aren't going to do it for London. They're going to have to move it downfield like they have been.
Angus a $199, 18 for 24. Goes empty on 3rd down and 3, and the pass over the top of the defense into triple coverage is incomplete, and now London has a very difficult decision to make.
Wow, was that a dangerous pass from Angus McLean? Throws it into triple coverage. Luckily, it just gets knocked down, and they still have a chance to at least punt it away. That field position battle has been working for him here in the second half.
I am shocked. They're going to go for this. They're on their own 45-yard. No, they're going to punt. God, Lee, Rich, I almost had a heart attack. I was going to say, why? Why? Just punt it. Your defense has been. They're going to fake the punt. London's going to fake the punt, and he's not going to throw it.
Oh,
and
my
Louisiana's
gosh.
got the ball on their London 28-yard line. What a disaster. What a disaster.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that. He just sat there. Good, obviously decent coverage downfield, but he didn't move. He didn't try and throw the ball, but he is a punter trying to throw the ball, so I guess.
Oh, my good. The press box at Stack Up Stadium just went ballistic. I thought we were going to fall out, Rich. Oh, my gosh. The stadium just shook. I cannot believe that decision. And now Louisiana at least is in field goal range as Streeter picks up 3. Oh, my goodness. Let's check out the Week 2 storylines while we have a moment. New cities, Fort Worth debuts next in their new home stadium. Louisiana debuting now. Does Carolina have a new wing, Rich? They could go 2-0. They're on the road at Vegas tonight and many other fantastic storylines. What are you looking forward to this week, Rich?
I'm looking forward to seeing that Fort Worth team that next game at Queen City. I really want to see how they do at home opening up that new stadium.
2nd down and 7 at the 26-yard line after just an unlucky break for the London Knights late down the stretch of this one. Handoff goes to Streeter. He's got some space to the outside. He picks up 2. But Louisiana is just going to bleed as much clock as they can. And it's so devastating. There's a 199 out of 200 chance you're going to punt the football there. And you can't do anything about that.
No.
You just have to shake it off and live to fight
and
another day.
I don't understand the decision. I said it right before the play. The field position battle had been working for them. It just had.
They got greedy. They tried to get tricky. They tried to get in a number of ways. I thought they were going to go for it, and then they didn't. Hand off. Streeter, 3rd down, not going to get it. So it's up to the field goal unit for the Revolution, and we'll see what they can do with it when we come back. 2-minute break. This is more exciting than Week 1. It's unbelievable. These games. Revolution by 7. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Well, 2 minutes left. The Louisiana Revolution have a chance to kick a 40-yard field goal. Matt Fennick, it would be his first attempt of the day. He'll actually mark it at 39. This would make it a two-score game for the first time in a while. First time in this quarter.
Yes.
39 yards away. Good snap, good hold. Money. Easy. Revs up 10.
Well, I tell you what, Cam, I'm still going back to that fake punt. And just unfortunately for London, that just flips momentum so much. That deflates your offense, deflates your defense. Defense has been playing so good this second half. And now they're going to have to, the offense is going to have to come out here, work quick.
And for those that at home that are wondering, London can't gameplay for that. That's not a part of a game plan or a gameplay. It's just every once in a while, you know, that the AI is going to decide. And honestly, Rich, if it was executed, it would have been amazing, because we were thinking, what are they doing? Are they going to go for it on fourth down, or can you really punt here? You got all the momentum, and it was making us think.
Sure.
So it was obviously they were hoping it would make Louisiana think, but they just botched it.
Yeah.
I agree with Dave Axis in the chat. I'm still in disbelief. Twitch.tv/FTF next, as McClain now has to fight from a 10-point deficit. That pass is caught by Highwind, but he needs something down the field. This short over the middle is not going to get it done.
No, he needs to go back downfield to Fox Highwind or Vin Kalia and get some big yardage.
McClain outside. Merrill got to get out of bounds. Spun back inside and found a lot of open room. Did not get out of bounds, but got all the way to the London 49. Most impressive play by Merrill today.
Robert Merrill pulling something away from Reggie Streeter with that spin move and getting some extra yardage.
London still has all three timeouts. They'd like to preserve them. The pass is caught. There is a flag, which will stop the clock. That's pass interference. It will be declined, and London gets a free timeout.
Wow, what a break for London. They really needed to stop the clock and get the ball moved downfield. And here we go with pass interference. You get that many defenders bunched up with a wide receiver, somebody's going to bounce into him.
It's on Diesel, and that's the second DPI we've seen today. That's very unusual for an SFL competition. Well, London has to feel pretty good about how this 2-minute offense is going right now.
Yeah, get the ball in the end zone or get a field goal at least. Get something on the board at this point. Kick the onside kick and try and get that back.
And the most important thing, preserve all three of your timeouts if you can, because even if you don't recover the onside kick, you still can get a 3-and-out and have a chance to get the ball back. 3 receivers for McClain. He'll drop back 3 steps, fire it out to Swift. He dropped it, and honestly, that's probably a good thing. Almost ended in a pick, though.
Yeah, I need to quit throwing the ball to Iggy Swift. I hate to say it, but that's the second one he's dropped.
His hands are still growing.
Yes, I don't think Iggy has a catch today. He does not. He has been targeted twice now, though.
The football did the Iggy shuffle on that
yes,
one.
Yes, it did.
It was bouncing around all over the place. 2nd and 10 at the 40. Stops the clock with 1:14 to go. By the way, over-under was 51.5. Just hit the over at 52. That pass a little bit outside of the reach of Vin Kalia, and he's been targeted 8 times with only 4 catches. But isn't that amazing? 52 points on an over-under of 51.5. We have the best line setters in the SFL.
Oh, man, it's been amazing. It really has. And, you know, even if London gets the 3 on the board, if the score stays the way it is, they hit the line too.
Yeah. Hunter Norwood, Jack Wall holding down Jack Stato over there and do a tremendous job. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. 3rd down and 10. McClain is 21 of 30. Louisiana in the nickel deep drop back. McClain's got time. McClain pass caught. First down to the 22-yard line, but did not get out of bounds. Again, near the sideline, pass caught by Kalia, who's been awesome today. 57 seconds. Quickly, McClain up. Will he spike it? He will not. Back to throw. McClain looking down the middle of the field. Overthrown and could have been intercepted, but it overshot everybody, and it stops the clock with 51 seconds to go.
Had a receiver running down the sideline into the back corner of the end zone, wide open, and unfortunately, Angus McClain did not see him. Dumped it out into the middle, incomplete. Luckily, incomplete. Stops the clock.
This is not good for either of our hearts, and we are not even playing.
No.
It's incredible. Mike Daggs, Matt Wilson have the crowd play game of the week for $1,000 prize pool. Coming up next, Fort Worth, Queen City. at the top of the hour. McLean, dump off to Merrill. What are you doing? And I think they got to burn a timeout there, and they do. And now the game rests on an onside kick if they can even get there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a questionable play call there. I don't think that was a check down. I think that was a design play. It happened too quickly. And, again, you've got to throw the ball downfield. But you can get the field goal, get the 3 points on the board, and then work toward getting the ball back.
3rd down and 12 at the 24-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. McLean, deep, drop back, clean pocket, end zone, touchdown, London! Vin Kalia makes it a 4-point game.
Tells you what I know. That's what I'm sitting up here in the booth, and Liam Crowder is down there on the sideline calling plays, because what a route from Vin Kalia. And again, Angus McLean delivers a perfect pass into the end zone to get the score within 3.
That's the Saren Storm special, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Well, after Louisiana's defense picked off Javier Vasquez 7 times last week, Angus McLean has a QBR of 111, 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. And even if London does end up coming out on the short side of this, I think they may even move up in the power rankings. 0-2,
yeah.
But both on the road, both one-score games. Not a terrible showing for London, who had the worst record in the league last year, but has shown tremendous improvement. And now the onside kick coming, and if they recover this, all hell's going to break loose.
Both of these teams have definitely shown they are for real this season. You know, even if London, like you said, even if London comes out on the losing end of this thing, they are a team to be worried about going down the stretch.
42 seconds left. This is basically the ball game here on the foot of JT Delaney, and his onside kick is too deep. It bumps around. They did not recover it. It's still loose, and who's on it? Did London recover that? Do I need a replay?
I'm not sure. I think London
see it.
Yeah, I think London got it.
No. Louisiana recovered it. That was the corner, Ash Oates, on the bottom of the pile, and Louisiana's going to win the football game by the slimmest of margins. Oh, my. Wow.
Ambulance on standby, right?
It's already somewhere. Need another one. Wow. What a game. What a game. The fake punt, obviously a disappointing development for London late in the game. But they had it. It was the ball was bouncing right there. They could have gotten it.
That was a great onside kick.
Just that close. Well, it hit him almost high. He had to reach up for it and just did not have the hands. And unless there's some sort of colossal disaster here on this next kneel down, this game is over. What a game. Louisiana, under new ownership, going to improve to 2-0 in stunning fashion. Back-to-back weeks, they've now scored over 30 points. And, you know, Louisiana is for real, and people have to be scared of them. Did not have a very good second half offensively, but they cleaned it up and got just enough of a bounce and won the game without Chase Earl, unbelievably enough.
Yeah, they did not have a great second half, but, you know, both Johnny Pickler and Reggie Streeter were very efficient, had great games. So did Angus McLean. Again, you look at these statistical lines. Angus McLean, 267 yards. Pickler, 271. Both of them hovering right around 110 QBR. 70% completion rating for McLean, 69% for Pickler. So, both of these quarterbacks are dangerous guys. They're for real. You need to worry about those if you're playing secondary in the SFL. You're going to have to watch out.
Don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, that's 15 minutes away, the $1,000 prize pool for the Crowd Play Game of the Week. Mike Daggs, Matt Wilson on hand for that. Fort Worth and Queen City will kick off. And you can play against me. And by the way, if I win anything, I'm giving that right to the charity that is supported by the winning team, whether that be Fort Worth or Queen City coming up. But can you beat me? Can you top me? That is going to be a lot of fun. And Rich and I will be playing alongside you guys while we're watching the game and producing the next one. Your thoughts on one of the most wild and crazy SFL games I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest game I've ever been involved with. Just impressed by both of these teams and the way that they were able to control the half that they controlled. London stepped up on defense in that second half and really showed that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the SFL. going forward. If they would have had a little bit better first half, this game would have been a whole different ball game. Both quarterbacks had a very efficient, very good day. Only one interception. That was my big question mark for Angus McLean, was could he take care of the ball after his problems last season with interceptions? Obviously, he's worked on that in the offseason and has that taken care of. Going forward, London's going to have to figure out a way to get Robert Merrill a little bit more involved in the offense, and I think if they can do that, they've got a good track going forward.
London's going to have to clean up that secondary, too. That secondary gave them a lot of problems in the game, and that's kind of why they dug themselves a hole. Streeter, he struggled in the second half, but ends with 2 touchdowns, $135, 38 receiving yards on 32 carries, and he is your 2K Sports Player of the Game. And that's all for us from Stack Up Stadium in Houma, Louisiana. For Gerald Smith, Rich Pratchett, I'm Cameron Irvine. We'll see you at the top of the hour for Queen City and Fort Worth. And for now, have a great day, everybody.